Hey, it's Owen with Rent One here for a little show and tell. To my left here, I've got an empty and sad bookshelf. My goal is that by the end of this video, we'll fill up this bookshelf with books donated from coworkers of mine here at the corporate office at Rent One. The goal of this is to actually jumpstart our Take a Book, Leave a Book program at our stores. All this week long, we're asking folks to bring in books for kids and young teenagers aged books. If you want to drop a book by, we'd really appreciate it. We will put it to good use. So stay tuned. Let's see if we can fill this up with some of our favorite books.
Hi, my name is Josie, and one of my favorite books that I'm donating is Holes. I've read this book so many times. Something I love about it that many people love when there is a movie that goes with the book, because who doesn't like to watch movies? The story is about a boy named Stanley Yelnats, and it's just a really great adventure for him. He gets into all this trouble, and there's a giant twist towards the end that you would never expect. I used to teach 4th grade, and every time I read it, the kids loved it.
My book is The Monster at the End of the Book by John Stone. And what I really loved about the book is it gave kids the opportunity to kind of like see that whatever we're fearful about, like the things we're most scared about in life, that they're not that scary at the end. I loved it growing up, and I've read it to my kids and they love it too. And I think it's just a classic book. So.
Hi, the book that I brought today is Click Moo by Doreen Cronin. It is a hilarious story about Farmer Brown and his cows and their relationship when the cows actually acquire a typewriter and start leaving him notes, basically saying, we're not going to make any more milk until you give us electric blankets. And so they start making all these demands and saying we're not paid well enough as cows. There's an argument back and forth, and at some point one of the other farm animals steps in to kind of mediate the situation. It is so funny for adults or kids. Obviously it's a kid's book, but adults, you'll get a laugh out of it as well.
Hi, the book I brought in today is Dog Man. We love this book in our family because not only is it very funny and it has a comic book style, which is easy to read, but it's also easy to speak if you're going to read to your kid. This is a great book series for 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and up. My kid goes back to it again and again and reads it when I'm not there, and kind of learns to read. As you follow the characters through, shows that even the bad guys can be good. So it has this idea of redemption, that people can be shown love and they can make changes. Those are just great messages for kids to understand and hear.
The book that I brought to share is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I have a few copies of this book. I kind of collect them, but this is one of my favorites because it has really cool pop-ups throughout, which really captures the same magic to me that's in the movie. I love The Wizard of Oz because it's so colorful and magical and imaginative. There's so many fun and cool characters. It's so memorable. Like, people from all generations know and love this story, whether they've seen the movie or the book. So it's a really sort of like a cultural thing that brings everybody together.
And they all lived happily ever after. The end. In all seriousness though, it's clear that these children's books make such a lasting impression on us. Even to this day, we remember the books that we read as a kid, and they make us smile and make us laugh, sometimes cry. If you have a book like this laying around that you no longer have use for, would you consider bringing it to one of our stores for our book drive? Hey, you can also check out our growing book exchange. And I'm proud to say that our coworkers, as you can tell, filled up our bookshelf here. I'm very proud. I even had books that wouldn't fit in the bookshelf. So that's pretty cool. I'm very thankful to be working for a company like Rent One that cares about our communities and what we're doing there. We'd love for you to be a part of it. Help us get the word out about our new book exchange, free book exchange, and our book drive this week. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.